still bless you. I still bless you. I still bless you. In good time. I still bless you. 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 So, good morning. Good morning. It is a beautiful day here in the Northeast. I am trying to find this or that question because unfortunately, Barb started a streak now or a little habit. And so now I'm having to always look for a this or that question for you. So good morning. Happy Friday to you. It is a beautiful morning out there. It is gorgeous out. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. It is so beautiful. I am so pumped about how sunny and beautiful it is on this day. Good morning, Johnny. Good morning, Michelle. Good morning, Liz. Good morning, Laura Jean. Good morning, Susan. Good morning, Sue. And in just a moment, I'm going to give you the this or that question. We're going to be talking about, the judgment or being how God judges the heart. And I found it very interesting when you start to read this, especially in the Passion Translation. It gives it a lot of flavor. I love it. I love it. I love it. Good morning, Sherry. Good morning, Jamie. Good morning, Marina. Good morning, Valerie. And good morning, Jessica. So here's the question for today. Paperback or ebook? Paperback or ebook? What is your preference? Paperback book or an ebook? Remember, you're only keeping it really short, no dissertations. So again, the question is paperback book or ebook. And we're going to be reading out of John chapter 8. I was going to start on verse 14, but I think that I should start in verse 12 so that you could get a little bit of background since we missed yesterday. We celebrated my aunt's life, and I gotta tell you, it was so beautiful, so beautiful. All the different stories of, all of the different things that she did in life. It was just awesome to hear about it. So let's read John chapter 8. We're going to start at verse 12, okay? Then Jesus said, I am the light to the world, and those who embrace me will experience life-giving light, and they will never, ever walk in darkness. I just put in the next ever, right? They will never walk in darkness. The Pharisees were immediately offended and said, you're just boasting about yourself. Since we only have your word on this, it makes your testimony invalid. And Jesus responded, just because I am the one making these claims doesn't mean they're invalid. For I absolutely know who I am, where I come from, and where I'm going. But you Pharisees have no idea about what I'm saying, for you set yourselves up as judges of others based on outward appearances. But I certainly never judge others in that way, for I discern the truth. I am not alone in my judgments, for my Father and I have the same understanding in all things, and he has sent me to you. Isn't it written in the law of Moses that the testimony of two men is trustworthy? Then what I say about who I am is true, for I am not alone in my testimony. My Father is the other witness and we testify together of the truth. Now, I'm talking about judgment of the heart because that's what he says that he looks at. He says he discerns um, the truth about you. And the heart usually tells if you're being truthful or not. Jesus looks at the heart. And yet, think about this. We look at a person, and I know women sometimes do this, right? We walk into a room, there's another woman, and we kind of size her up. It's a bad habit. We're conditioned to do that. We kind of size her up. And the first thing that comes to mind, even though you don't say it, is she going to be a friend or is she going to be foe? Ooh, what type of woman is this going to be? Is she going to be someone that I can establish some type of relationship? Or is she the type that I'm going to have to keep my distance from and stay away from? You even do that with guys for the ladies that are single. You kind of measure them up and say, okay, what kind of person are they? And it says that first impressions tell a lot, but first impressions also can be a mistake. It could be mistaken. They could be having a very bad day and show you a part of them that's not exactly what they are every single day. And I thank God that he looks at us and he discerns the truth from us. He discerns our heart. He looks at our heart and he goes, she's beautiful. She is gorgeous. She is wonderful. She's my daughter. I'm going to give her the opportunity to become more like me. He looks at the heart, and he knew that the heart of the Pharisees was not in the right place. And when I say that he looks at the heart, we had read earlier, I believe it was chapter 2 or 3, that Jesus knew the intentions of the heart of men. He knew them, and he had stayed away from them because they wanted to make him a leader and glorify him and all that. But in the physical sense, in the kingdom realm within Israel, they didn't understand that he came for the spiritual sense to establish the kingdom that was spiritual. And so a lot of times we can be very judgmental. We don't judge by the heart. We judge by the outward appearance, just like the Pharisees do. And we look at a person, and if they did something, we label them. And that is so bad. We're supposed to really move away from that, from labeling people, because God judged by the heart. He discerns the heart, the truth within their heart. And sometimes we take and we'll label a person and we'll say, how many times have we said it, or we've heard another person say, he'll never change. She'll never change. She'll always be like that. Or he will always be like that. Or she's just getting cranky and old, so things are going to get worse. Whatever she's manifesting now is just going to get worse in the future. Or she's always done that. See, she did it again. That's how she will always be. And we judge we're judgmental. We're looking at the appearance. Now, I am not saying that we don't have the right to say or to determine whether or not a person is not good for us, right? Those are two different things, because we can look at somebody, pass judgment in the sense of, you know what, this person is very toxic for me, so I need to stay away from that person. I need to keep distance. There's sometimes that there are people that may be in your life that need to be at a distance. They can't be close to you. They need to be kept, at a distance, or maybe even outside of your life. But I'm talking about how we take the opportunity to gossip. Let's be real. It's gossip. When we start talking about another person in a negative context and we're telling people after people after people after people, that is gossip. It's no longer you are explaining something. That's gossip. You can explain something without, talking and passing judgment about certain people. You don't have to explain anything to anybody. For example, oh, I noticed that you don't hang out with so and so anymore. Yeah, that relationship, we decided to take a break, or I did, we haven't really seen each other that often. We don't see each other that often anymore, and leave it at that. You don't have to go into your whole judgmental dissertation of why you no longer hang out with them and what they did to you and how hurt you are. Those things, all it does is that it glorifies the enemy, and you're not squashing it, closing it, and just leaving it before the throne of God. You're taking it back, and you're holding animosity, you're holding regret, you're holding bitterness, you're holding all of offense, you're holding all these things, and it makes you feel better. Let's be real. It makes you feel better when you talk about that. But what you're doing is you're siding with the enemy. It says to bless those who curse you, bless those who persecute you, bless those who are your enemies. Yeah, and so it's very hard to do that. And that's why I said that if you're a Christ follower, you're going to be going against the grain a lot of times. I remember one time when Richie and I were having issues years and years ago, right? And I had to get to that place of praying, God, help me to see him through your eyes, Lord. Help me to see him through your eyes. And what that does is that if you're seeing through God's eyes, remember that God sees the truth of who that person is in the present, even though that's not what they are. In other words, he sees what we call potential. He sees what he wrote in their book about them. That's what he sees. He doesn't see the bad behavior. He doesn't see, that they're wrong. He doesn't see all this negative stuff that we focus on. He sees what he wrote in that book, because he lives outside of time. So that means that he lives in the past, present, and future all at the same time. And I know that's hard for some of you to understand, but that's what it is. He lives in the past, present, and future constantly, because he's outside of time. So he's not seeing your present. Like, we like hearing that God is not looking at how screwed up we are right now. He's seeing that what he declared over you already. That's what he's seeing. You just have to believe it and catch up with him. So he doesn't do that just for you. He does that for everyone. He does that for everyone. So if that's the case, he's always presenting us opportunities to catch up with his truth about us. I'm going to say that one more time. He's always giving us opportunities to catch up with his truth about us. That's so wonderful, isn't it? I want to say it one more time. He's always giving us an opportunity to catch up with his truth about us. We have to get to that place of seeing his truth about us. It's in the now, not in the future. If the minute that we accept that truth, we're walking in it right now. It's just that our behavior needs to align with his truth. That's the problem, right? And to be honest with you, this is not a behavior modification program. This is a lifestyle. We're constantly looking to align with what God says, align with what his scripture says, align with our spiritual walks, so that it matches those that are in heaven, on earth as it is in heaven. And so before you start judging, remember that there are 4 fingers that are pointing right back at you, right? That's saying, look at you, and then look at yourself through the mirror of God's eyes, because he will always look at you through compassion and with love. And that's what we're supposed to be doing with others. I pray that this blessed you today. I know that it blessed me. I had fun listening to God speak through me and to me. That is always awesome. And it happens every time we sit in devotional every morning on the weekdays. So we will be here at the same bad time, same bad channel. Devotionals at 7:30 a.m. It is called Walking Through the Book of John with our thinking caps. And I just want to see what is the answer to my question. We give a poll every morning, and let's go see what they came back with. So good morning, Gert. Good morning, Gloria. Good morning, my BFF. Good morning, Aji. Good morning, Barb. So it is paperback books. So the question was paperback books or ebooks, and most people said paperback, and I'm there with you. I like feeling pages. I like I like the pages. So have a fantabulous weekend. Love you, ladies.